What was it like when you found out your significant other was rich? I grew up knowing two things. One, my mom loved me more than anything. Two, we had nothing. It was just us in a tiny one-bedroom apartment. She slept in the bed because of her health problems, and I crashed on the couch. Money was tight. Some nights dinner was whatever she could throw together from dollar store groceries. I started working as soon as I could. Fast food, janitor shifts, handing out flyers on the street. Anything to keep the lights on. But the dream? That was medical engineering. I worked like crazy and somehow saved enough for college. The first day of class, I walked in feeling like I had already won. Then I saw her, Anna. She wasn't just beautiful. She had this energy, this way of making you feel like you belonged. We got paired up for a project, and before I knew it, we were studying together all the time, then hanging out just because. I had no idea she came from money. She never acted like it. But one day, she was at my place, looking around at the cracked walls and secondhand furniture. She didn't say anything, just smiled and curled up on the couch like it was the most natural thing in the world. That's when I knew she was different. A few months later, I found out her dad was the doctor, Calloway, the guy who invented one of the most widely used surgical tools in the world. My stomach dropped. She could have been with anyone, and she was with me? I asked why, half joking. She just laughed and said, "Because I like you." That should have made me feel better, but it only made me more nervous when she invited me to her house for dinner. I didn't own anything nice, and the thought of showing up in my usual clothes made me sick. My mom saw my face and pressed a few crumpled bills into my hand. "Get yourself something nice," she said. It nearly broke me. I stood outside their house that night, staring at the biggest home I had ever seen. The driveway was long enough to fit my entire apartment complex. When the door opened, her dad looked exactly like I expected. Tall, serious, the kind of guy who made million-dollar decisions before lunch. He nodded at me. "Come in." Dinner was tense. Her dad watched me like I was an equation he was trying to solve. Then he asked what I was studying. I told him about medical engineering, how I wanted to help people like my mom, how I had worked 3 jobs to get here. He didn't say anything at first. Then, slowly, he nodded. "That's impressive," he said. I thought that was the end of it, but later that night he pulled me aside, told me if I ever needed help, I should come to him, offered me an internship. I didn't believe it at first, but he meant it. Over time, he became like the dad I never had. He gave me advice, taught me how to navigate the world in ways I had never learned. He even started inviting my mom over for dinner, treating her like family. On my birthday, they all came to our place. For the first time, it felt like we weren't just surviving. Graduation came, and I finished with honors. True to his word, he got me an entry-level job that paid enough for my mom and me to move into a 2-bedroom apartment. For the first time, we both had a real bed. Then came the moment I had been dreading. I pulled him aside one night, heart pounding. "Sir, my throat dried up. I'd like to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage." He stared at me for a long second, then burst out laughing, a deep, booming laugh that made my stomach drop. He clapped me on the back. "Took you long enough. I was wondering when you were going to grow the balls to ask her. I had spent my whole life wondering what having a dad would feel like. Turns out, it felt exactly like this.